Part 41. And I forgot to mention that archaeologists found white stones the weight of a talent because the Romans used catapults. How it said hail the weight of a talent hit them. Yeah. Now we know beyond any doubt that Mystery Babylon was Jerusalem in the 1st century. And we know that they were destroyed in the 1st century. And we know that these plagues came on them in the 1st century. And we know that Jerusalem and the temple were destroyed at the end. The vials. It talks about it right here in the vials. And then Mystery Babylon, right? The very end. So we know that this already happened. This means that the trumpets already happened, which means that the witnesses that came during the trumpets already happened, which means that those things happened during the beast. The beast that ascended up out of the bottomless pit overcame them. So we also know that the beast already happened. So we know that the seals and the trumpets and the witnesses and the beast and the vials already happened in history. How can anybody say that there's anything left to happen? And before we get into this next chapter, think about everything that Jesus said. He pointed at that temple. He didn't speak of a future temple. He said not one stone in that temple would still stand. And he said that generation wouldn't pass until all those things were fulfilled. He said that temple would be left desolate. He said that whenever the Roman armies came to Jerusalem, that these be the days of vengeance whenever all things written were fulfilled. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and the saints and all that were slain upon the earth. If all of the blood of all the prophets already came on them, that means all the prophets are fulfilled. Just as Jesus said, that generation wouldn't pass, that the law and the prophets would be fulfilled, and heaven and earth would pass in that generation, but that generation wouldn't pass away until all those things were fulfilled. Now in Luke, maybe chapter 11, I don't remember, Jesus is walking up to the city, that city, and he wept over that city. And he told them, since they did not know the time of their visitation, that the armies were going to come and compass them round, dig a trench about them, lay them in on, keep them in on every side, and lay them even with the ground and their children within them. And then he said, not one stone will stand upon another. And that is exactly what happened. That is the desolation. Jesus also said in Luke, he said, for it cannot be that a prophet dies outside of Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee. And he sent them apostles and prophets. And some they would slay, and some they would persecute, that all the blood of all the prophets would be required at the hands of that generation. And after that he said, behold, your house is left unto you desolate. And in her was found the blood of these prophets, and they were sent to her. And it was those apostles and prophets that rejoiced over her. So we know that the seals and the trumpets and the vials and the witnesses and the beast and everything has already happened. Because Mystery Babylon is destroyed at the very end of these vials. The next chapters in Revelation is the understanding of the whole thing that Jesus did and what it actually means. Stay tuned.